Thank you so much, Professor Hallard. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I will try to make this a bit more exciting. I'm going to give you some information which some of you must have seen earlier in some of the presentations, or for some of you, it might be quite new. We all live and practice in an environment where equity and access has become the most important thing in terms of public health. So much that the UN Secretary General had to actually convene a high-level panel on access to medicine and ask for a report as to what's happening around access to medicine. So we all practice and live as patients or physicians or public health experts in that kind of an environment. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about HIV and viral hepatitis, and I will not be able to do justice to everything that is required of that, so I'll focus more on the treatment aspects of this infection. Just to broadly give you an outline, I will first start with the direct-acting antivirals, which Professor Wright had mentioned about. This is for the treatment of hepatitis C. I will also talk about hepatitis B medications. I will not be touching around the birth dose immunization or immunization of people who inject drugs as recommended by WHO with rapid regimen, but I'll be specifically talking about hepatitis B-related medications. I will talk to you about the pricing of hepatitis C and hepatitis B medications. And then where are we in terms of the HIV, the much talked about 390s, 90 by 2020 that UNAIDS has come up with, and looking ahead in terms of equity, being fair, and how do we remain impartial. I will focus my talk much on the Southeast and South Asia for the moment, and my pricing is going to be on the licensed Indian generic hepatitis C related medications. And for hepatitis B from different pricing points, so that's what I would be focusing on. We have heard about this direct-acting antivirals. We have heard about Sovaldi. Many of you as physicians must have used it to treat your patients, or as patients you must have utilized some of this. We have also had Harvoni, the lidipasvir and sofosbuvir co-formulation, which is used in Australia under the Pharmaceutical Benefit Scheme. We also have Daclenza, which is from Bristol Myers Squibb, daclatasvir. We also have generic formulations of this, which has been licensed by Gilead. We have different versions of, I'll come into more details, but we have different versions or different brands of generic sofosbuvir. We have different brands of generic Harvoni, lidipasvir and sofosbuvir co-formulation. And we have also multiple brands that are in the market, which are the generic daclatasvir. So, as I said, we work mostly in Southeast and Southeast Asia region, or the WHO WIPRO and WHO Zero region. So, in terms of Zero, we have heard about these medications. Where are these medicines? Is it available everywhere? That we have had this. Patients in Australia, patients in France, patients in where else? I think there are 5 countries now, including France, which provides in developed Western Europe, which provides treatment irrespective of fibrosis stage. So in terms of the developing countries to closer to Australia, where are we? In Thailand, we have Sovaldi and Daclenza. Recently, we have got Harvoni, but the marketing authorization is still not there, so that's not available in the market at the moment. We have both the sofosbuvir generic and Sovaldi available in Indonesia. Bangladesh is a least developed country, so they don't have to comply on intellectual property at this point on medication. So they have all versions, including velpatasvir, the WHO preferred regimen. They have that produced by their own companies. In Myanmar, we have sofosbuvir, lidipasvir, and daclatasvir of the Indian licensed products that are approved there and available. In Nepal, we have sofosbuvir, daclatasvir, and also velpatasvir by the Indian licensees available. In India, when you go to India and try to buy this medicine, you'll be offered with a wide number of choices, with approximately 15 companies producing and marketing or marketing these products, all the preferred regimen as recommended by WHO. In the Wipro region, Cambodia have the soft ledipasvir and also valpatasvir. Cambodia is one of the first countries in Western Pacific to register valpatasvir, which is from the Indian generic suppliers. In Philippines, they have only Sovaldi. In Vietnam, there is sofosbuvir and Zapatir, which is Elvasvir and Grazoprevir co-formulation. In Malaysia, we have the FV combination and Sovaldi. So these are very limited number of countries where these drugs are available. Gilead gave a license to the companies in September 2014, to the Indian companies, and BMS gave a license to Medicines Patent Pool in November 2015, based on which the Indian companies started production of these medicines. Sovaldi is registered so far in only 26 developing countries. Harvoni is only in 18 developing countries, excluding the developed countries. We're talking about the developing countries. So we have 26 and 18. We have no information on where Daclinza is. So no matter a medication is available or a medication is there, unless it reaches the countries, unless it reaches the patients, how much of a difference would it make in terms of we trying to eliminate viral hepatitis C? From the generics, after they were given the license, right now, globally, including Latin America and in Africa and Asia, sofosbuvir is registered and available in 23 countries. Ledipasvir is in 12 countries, and daclatasvir is in 9 countries, and valpatasvir only in 2, which is Nepal and Cambodia. We go to hepatitis B medications. We have heard about, and we use this even for HIV infection also. We have Variat, the tenofovir innovator version. We also have Baraclude, the entecavir innovator version. We have also, many of us have used generic tenofovir from multiple countries, suppliers from multiple countries, and from different generic companies. We also have entecavir, different versions of different generic entecavir. Variat right now is registered, I think, overall for hepatitis B in 88 countries. But in our region, in Western Pacific and Southeast Asia, there are only 9 countries where this is approved for hepatitis B use. Baraclude, we have no idea. Entecavir, we don't know where it is. We don't know any information about the hepatitis B registration of tenofovir, while it is widely available for the use of HIV. The same thing for generic entecavir. We have no information around where these medications are. Let's look at the price now. So we have heard this $1,000 a bottle price on Sovaldi. Of course, it differs. The list price is different from what actually the insurers are, the companies are being provided with, the insurance companies or the governments are provided with. So PBS definitely gets a price which is different or lower than the $1,000 a pill, which has been much talked about. This is private purchase in India. So if anybody right now goes to India, you can get sofosbuvir at, how much is that? I can't even see. That's a pretty small slide now. It's around $60, I think, a bottle. $60 sofosbuvir a bottle. 7% goes to Gilead out of this as royalty for the voluntary license. Ledipasvir co-formulation, which is known as Harvoni, you can get it for $83. This is in the private market. This is not even for government-related, like PVS-related procurements. And daclatasvir is $23 a bottle. So if you're a physician and you're looking to treat one of your patients who do not have access to these medicines or cannot buy the originator version, you're looking at $249. I'm talking only about the medication cost. $249 for a 12 weeks therapy for ledipasvir, and to 300 and sorry, there is some mistake in my calculation. So yeah, I have to relook. So we go to the but sorry, I can't go. Yes. So the pricing is correct. I wrote down some totals here, and I think I made a mistake on my total. But $60 a bottle for cephalosporin, $83 on soft lead, and $23 is what we pay in India. You go to the government purchases. And in India, there is no federal program to treat hepatitis C like what the PBS does here. But health is a state subject there. So some of the state governments have started providing treatment to their own domicile. People from that state, like say Victoria, people from Victoria only will get that treatment. And with that, you can get cephalosporin at $24 a bottle, and daclazazvir at $12 a bottle, and soft lead at $61 a bottle. So in India, the government purchase for a soft DAC 12 weeks right now is $108. I don't know how much PVS pays for it. I don't know how much the French government pays for it. This includes 7% that would go to Gilead and BMS as their royalty. In terms of hepatitis B medication, Viriad depending on where you purchase this from. Viriad is around $39 USD. This is I'm talking about from my purchases in Thailand, and generic tenofovir is around 16 if I want to go to a pharmacy now and buy it. Baraclude is more expensive. It depends where you're buying it from 214 to 386. Generic entecavir, hardly you pay like $10 to $15 for a month of therapy. Let's touch a bit on HIV. We heard in the morning around during the plenary about whether the cup is half full or half empty. How do you present your messaging? In terms of the 1990, and this is supposed to be achieved by 2020, and apologies if I approach this from a more pessimistic point or from a negative point, but we're looking at only 64% of the people knowing their HIV status at this point, and we have 3 years basically to achieve this target. We have 41% of people only on antiretroviral. I think this has now gone up to that translates to it's 42% now as of June 2016, and that translates to around 2.2 million people with antiretroviral at this point. And we have 34% who are virally suppressed. On one side is WHO recommending, as cited in the previous presentations about WHO and other policies are talking about treat all. But in our region, in Asia Pacific, if we look at that, only 15 countries provides antiretroviral for HIV irrespective of their CD4 count. 6 countries would give it below 500, but if you're from a key population, you will be given. But if you got it from blood donation, you will not get it. I mean, blood transfusion, you will not get it. How fair is that? What sort of a policy is that I have that infection, but I got it from some other means, so I will not get it. So what do? Do I inject drugs and come back, or do I declare myself as from some other key population to get access to that medicine? 9 countries still have 500 threshold mark, and 2 countries still have the 350 mark, CD4 level. Looking ahead, care and treatment has to be seen as a right to health. We have many international covenants where this has been declared, but the practice is different. We have different categories and rationing that is being done across all diseases for accessing care and treatment. We have big issues around drug registration and national regulatory barriers. And some countries, including Mongolia, Myanmar, and our region, have done away with some of the national regulatory processes, but that's still a long way to go. Affordability is a big thing. And if you look at examples of Egypt, from October 2015 to September 2016, Egypt treated 670,000 people with all oral DAAs. How could they do that? Because they get one of the best priced DAAs in the world. So they could aim to treat that many number of people. Hepatitis B patients are consistently neglected. So tenofovir is there. Room number 67 tenofovir is being provided for hepatitis B medication, for HIV patients, but I'm in room 42, but I can't go there and get that medication because I don't have HIV. So what do those hepatitis B mono-infected patients do? Should they get HIV infected and then come back so that those medications are being given? Or where is that equity? Where is that being impartial being applied? We have real-time challenges in terms of HIV programming. We have many policies and programs that have been developed. We have seen HPTN 052, which was talked about earlier by Professor Wright, but the real implementation of those, the real implementation of WHO guidance to say treat all, that hasn't happened across. So we still have a long way to go. We have achieved quite a lot in the past few years, but we still have some distance together to be fair and to be partial across in terms of eliminating all these viruses. Thank you very much, and I'll be happy to take any questions.